Threat neutralized.
Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel for another fighter showcase, and today we are gonna cover Somersault, a natural light diamond variant for Parasoul. Somersault has the highest attack stat of all Parasouls, and because she is a Parasoul, we know that her damage can increase even further if you use crit mass as a marquee ability and you have a lot of crit rate and tiers in the field. Overall, her attack stat is among the top 15 variants in this game, so that is pretty high on her own. Now we're just gonna go straight to her two signature abilities because this is the reason why you want to use Somersault. Her first signature ability is where she shines the most. Opponents lose 1 buff and 1% health every 2 seconds while near a tier. Okay, at max level this is supposed to be 3% health, but that doesn't really matter because the buff removal is the big reason why you want to use Somersault. Buff removal is not really a big strength for Parasoul, so Somersault having this ability already puts her in a different league compared to the other Parasouls. Her second signature ability is an interesting one and is less used. When you detonate at least 3 tiers at once, you remove all debuffs from herself, and then you gain 3 stacks of precision, and the detonated tiers also deal 100% bonus damage. This is a really cool ability, however, the thing is with Parasoul, you usually want to keep your tiers in the field to bolster your damage through crit mass. And furthermore, debuff removal is really good and precision is a really strong buff, but we're talking about Parasoul here who has 2 taunts which are really good. She has an immunity taunt and a precision taunt. So if you're using those 2 taunts in her kit, you don't really need to use her second ability as much. But it does provide an additional playstyle if you're interested into detonating tiers. And I do showcase that a bit during the gameplay later on. Overall, Somersault is a variant that can hit hard thanks to her Parasoul kit, and the ability to remove buffs is definitely a strong one as well. Her weakness is that she has no recovery like most other Parasouls, so that is a big weakness for her, and you'll see later in the gameplay that I get chip damage a lot in high price fight streaks. I'm blocking, the opponent attacks me, and it does reduce a lot of my damage, and I can't get them back up unless I have something like Surgeon General in the back. With that said, we're just gonna go straight to her moves. Alright, so with her moves, right now I have a standard Parasoul set. If you've watched any of my Parasoul guides, this is the set that I recommend usually. Knoppy Bounce and Silent Scope are just amazing blockbuster 1. They're very useful. Silent Scope can hit really hard, especially if you have a lot of tiers and crit damage. Motor Brigade is a really nice blockbuster 2 as well. It has a chance to stun the opponent, allowing you to make more tiers, or just a really good high damage blockbuster. This is optional. You can switch this with one of the taunts, for example, Egret Call here. This is also another set that I use sometimes depending on the modifiers and the situations. So 2 of Parasoul's taunts are really good. You got immunity and precision. Immunity, of course, being immune to all debuffs. Debuffs are very common in price fight modifiers, so just being able to be immune to that is already really good. And then precision, of course, is one of the stronger buffs in this game. Being able to ignore signature abilities on top of being a guaranteed crit is just super good for Parasoul and Somersault. And finally, we have Napalm Shot. This is something that is a bit of a personal preference for me. I really like Napalm Shot because it can deal quite a lot of damage when it crits. I don't really care about the bleed as much. What I care is that you can easily combo this with a dash attack sometimes to enable an additional tier while also damaging the opponent. So that's just a personal preference. However, I am aware that Somersault has a second playstyle that you can use. For example, you can use Napalm Trigger here to activate her second signature ability. And if you use Napalm Trigger to activate her second signature ability, I personally don't see the reason to use any of these taunts. Again, you can still use them if you want, and I think it's better if you do. This is another set that I like. This is another set that I tried during the gameplay, you'll see later. I have Napalm Shower, which I can easily combine with Napalm Trigger to just have 3 tiers detonated at once. Unfortunately, my Napalm Shower is level 9 and its stats aren't the best, so I'm actually losing out on some damage over here. So those are the moves that I recommend. If you just want to focus on her first signature ability, this is a standard set that I use every single time. But if you want to play around with her second signature ability a bit more and detonate tiers, you can do so with Napalm Trigger and Napalm Shower. Alright, I guess we can go straight to the gameplay. Alright y'all, so we are at streak 40 of the Combo Copia prize fight here, where the enemy has 300% bonus attack and health. So at this first try, I'm gonna try and use Napalm Trigger to activate her second signature ability. We'll see how this goes. I will usually use Immunity Taunt for this, but since we are getting our debuffs removed through Napalm Trigger, maybe we don't need it and we can have some more firepower. So we'll see how this goes. And here's just a brief overview of my stats. Alright, let's go. Okay, so our goal here is to corner the opponent as much as possible, and then you try to produce a lot of tears. Okay, not bad, not bad. That didn't work out as well as I want to. Let's activate our prestige ability here. Not bad, not bad. As you can see, I'm definitely not quite proficient in using the Napalm Trigger, because I've never really used it before. So I'm experimenting a bit with this one. Okay, nice. Whoa. Okay, that does a lot. Nice. Okay, this should finish it. Okay, here's the deal. Ideally, I'd want to bring a Napalm Shower to replace maybe a Motor Brigade, but doing so would reduce my firepower because my Motor Brigade has a lot of attack and piercing, my Silent Scope has a lot of attack, and my Canopy Bounce also has attack and piercing. So I can't get rid of any of these moves for a Napalm Shower that is level 6. Now I could remove Napalm Shot since I don't really get a lot of attack and piercing from the move, so let's try that. Okay, let's try this set. It's not ideal. Napalm Shot actually deals a lot of damage on its own because it's a special and I don't need to wait for it to load. So this is not ideal, but I'm gonna give it a shot anyway. Okay, without Napalm Shot I can't really use a dash attack here. My usual combo is dash attack Napalm Shot, which I can't do it here. Okay, nice. Let's get more tears going on here. Damn, they tagged out just at the right moment. Okay, that does a lot of damage. Whoa! 122k. That's pretty good. Alright, let's try that again. Whoa, 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 whoa. That was dangerous. Okay, we need to corner the opponent. Okay, I was meant to use Silent Scope actually, not Motor Brigade, because that was definitely guardable. Napalm Trigger doesn't deal as much damage as I would like. The problem with Napalm Trigger is that as a Parasoul, you usually want to keep your tiers on the field. You don't really want to explode them because, especially if you're using crit mass. Alright, let's go back to my standard set, which is just this, the change of these two. I think this is more consistent and better overall. So I'm gonna keep this move for the rest of the fight.
Just surrender.
Easy. Napalm shot. And let's go with a Sound Scope here. Did not kill, surprisingly. Okay, let's get a taunt here, get our immunity and our prestige ability. Class Cutter is kind of scary, but she can have unblockable specials. Okay, we're breezing through this prize fight. The best thing about Somersault is that, in this case, since this prize fight doesn't have a lot of heavy buffs, we're not really seeing her full potential, but being able to remove buffs is really, really good. And Immunity Taunt gives us a lot of immunity to a lot of debuffs from common prize fights. In this one, it's only slow, which does not affect us that much. But you can imagine in other prize fights, if you get stunned, for example, having that Immunity Taunt can be really, really helpful. And I think this kills. Nice. We'll keep going till streak 50. Oh. This unflinching. Screwed us over. Okay, let's put her in the air.
Ready, number 13.
Okay, this Beast King. Okay, good. It doesn't have any wolf shoots. So we can just guard.
No mercy.
Oh, didn't actually thought that would kill. That's good.
Ready, number 13.
Nice. Alright. Just a few more fights here. Getting our crit rate up. Crit damage up. And this should kill, I think. Oh, no, it doesn't.
I was careless. How dare you? We ride you go.
Let's go with the Mortar Brigade here. Nice.
Impossible.
Last fighter standing.
I'll patch it right up.
Amazing. Alright, this is gonna be the final fight till streak 50. Because we're facing That's All Folks, I'm gonna change my immunity taunt into my precision taunt instead. This will guarantee some crits to face against That's All Folks and increasing a lot of my damage. Let's go. Alright, here. Got 3 tiers, that's great. Let's go with the Sound Scope to kill it. Nice. I removed the evasion there, which is really good. Okay. And Sound Scope, this should kill. Nice. Alright y'all, so that's gonna be the end of this fighter showcase for Somersault. One of the biggest feedback I received from my previous showcases is to incorporate different movesets on a variant showcase just to see how they play out and how to use them well. I try to do this with Somersault because her abilities do allow a different playstyle using a napalm trigger to detonate tears, even though it's not optimal. I'm gonna try to do this more often. However, I do believe that certain variants will only work with a certain moveset, and for those variants, I'm just gonna have one moveset. But for others, I might experiment a bit. So that's gonna be the end of this video. We've got an update coming out very soon if you have not seen the trailers and teasers already. Black Dahlia is coming soon in the next update, and I can't wait until she's released so that we can all try her out together. With that said, thank you all so much for watching. Hope you all have a nice day ahead, and I'll see you in the next video.